Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I'm sharing 3 things I learned from books that I'm reading. I know it's been a long break since my last video, but I'm hoping to start this series back up again regularly. In this video, I'm sharing 3 things I learned from the book The Ideal Team Player by Patrick Lencioni. And I chose this book because there's a lot of material out there about leadership, a lot of things about how to lead people, build teams, and we're used to consuming that literature. But there aren't a lot of books talking about how to be a good follower or how to actually be just a team player when you're not leading a team. In this book, the author lays out what he considers the 3 most important virtues that someone needs to have to be the ideal team player. And it's important to note that he specified the word virtues and not characteristics. And this is because virtues are seen as assets or qualities, things that can be worked on and obtained, whereas a characteristic might be seen as something static. Either you've got it or you don't. The 3 virtues of the ideal team player are to be humble, to be hungry, and to be smart. And it's important to note, all 3 of these must be there to have the ideal team player. As we'll talk about at the end of the video, having only 1 or only 2 of these characteristics actually can be very destructive to a team. So let's go into these 3 qualities in detail. The first is to be humble, to have humility. And we understand this in an obvious sense. It means not to be driven by ego. It means to have more concern for others than you do for yourself. When someone is humble, they're able to be vulnerable and engage in honest conflict and hold team members accountable. They point out the contributions that others have made, and they seek to share credit and to give credit rather than to take it. The thing to watch out for in being humble is not to go on to the side where you start to lack self-confidence or you start to doubt your own abilities. When a person lacks self-confidence, they start to maybe not advocate for their own ideas or not call out problems when they see them. You still have to have confidence in your abilities, but you just have to do it in such a way where you're not only out for your own self-interest. Usually when people are egotistical, it's very obvious that they're very self-driven. When someone lacks self-confidence, they tend to withdraw and not advocate for themselves at all. Both of these extremes are driven out of insecurity. To have proper humility, to have proper level of humbleness, you need to have confidence in your ability, know how to advocate for your ideas, but do it in a way where you're not drawing attention to yourself. The second quality is to be hungry. And hunger is that innate drive to always do more, to always do better. This is the person that a manager doesn't have to tell them, we need you to go and do X, Y, Z. They're already ready to go do it on their own. The hungry person is the one that's always looking for more work, always looking for ways to help other people, always looking for things to learn. They're not waiting to be told what to do. The smart person, the third virtue, is common sense people skills. They have good interpersonal skills. They know the politics of a group or the dynamics of a group. And that smartness, and one thing that Lencioni says, that this is not emotional intelligence. This is actually a step before emotional intelligence. It's that common sense understanding of how people work, what people are looking for, and how to navigate the dynamics of that team. And that's it. Those are the 3 virtues of the ideal team player. All 3 of these must be present in an individual for them to be the ideal team player. If a person only has humility, they're only humble, and they lack hunger and they lack people smarts, that person is called a pawn. They're simply there, everyone likes being around them, but in the end, no one knows what they really have to offer. And so they're overlooked, they're not included in any activities. They might stick around for a while, but that's about it. When a person has only hunger, and they lack humbleness and they lack people smarts, that person is what we call a bulldozer. They get in there, they get what they themselves need done, and they get everyone else out of the way. We've all worked with people like that, and we know how unpleasant it can be. A person that only has people smarts, but they lack the humility and the hunger, that person is someone that's entertaining, they're likable, people kind of like being around them, but in the long run, no one really knows what value they have to provide and add to the team, and so they get left behind. Some people might have 2 out of the 3 characteristics, And that also can be destructive to a team. If someone has humbleness and hunger, then that person is called the accidental mess maker. They come in, they do the work that needs to be done, they have the appropriate focus on other people, but because they don't understand group dynamics, they might leave a mess behind. They might ruin other relationships within the team without even realizing it. If a person is smart and humble, but they lack hunger, that person is the lovable slacker. If you tell them what you need them to do, they'll do it, and people like being around them, but in the long run, it's frustrating for the team because they don't take any initiative. They're always waiting to be told. They'll get it done, but then that's about it. And then the last combination is being hungry and smart, but lacking in humbleness. And this is one that we often see in a workplace dynamic. This is the person that is the skillful politician. They know how to manipulate others, they know how to get their way, and they know how to get credit for their work. And because they know how to do that, they will often rise up. They'll often get recognition, much to the chagrin of other team members. And the destruction that they cause sometimes will go unnoticed because they're producing good results. And so by the time leadership realizes what's going on, sometimes it might be too late. This is why all three virtues, humbleness, hunger, and people smarts, must be present in someone for them to be the ideal team player. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the book. I've got a link to the book in the show notes. And if you enjoyed the video again, please make sure you subscribe and share it with a friend. And hopefully, we look forward to producing more videos. Thanks.